Welcome, Stay Spiritual team. James and Justin here, your favorite spiritual analysts on all things culturally relevant. And it's been a while since we've looked at kind of like an artistic piece. Eminem's back at it again, and he's got this reflection piece, it looks like, called Somebody Save Me, featuring Jelly Roll.
Eminem reflection piece.
Yeah. So we're going to take a look at it, react, and unpack it.
Daddy? Dad.
Get putting here when she gets.
Come eat!
I'm so tired.
Just come eat!
May not be here in a minute, I promise. Stop.
Well, then wake up!
Shut the door.
Somebody save me from myself. Has been so long living in hell.
Another pill as I start to spiral. Message to my daughters, I don't even deserve the father title. Haley, I'm so sorry, I know I wasn't there for your first guitar recital. Didn't walk you down the aisle. Missed the birth of your first child. Your first podcast, looking down. Sweetie, I'm so proud of how you turned out. Sorry that I chose drugs and put them above you. Sorry that I didn't love you enough to give them up how to fuck to. And I love you more than a pill looking up to the ceiling from this floor under wheel.
Somebody save me from myself. Has been so long living in hell. They say my lifestyle is bad for my health. It's the only thing that seems to help.
What is it?
I got the same look going on right now as Eminem.
Oh, jeez. Oh, okay.
I was like, what? Ego.
I was thinking like maybe he's patched things up with his daughter because like he's got to have some like licensing to be able to make a music video about her, doesn't he?
In some sense, it's very heartwarming and beautiful, you know? And and what father or parent can't, to some degree, relate to feeling, you know, their own foibles and their own failures along the way. And then there's like the colder side of it, which is like, this is a business.
Yeah,
You know, like, imagine bearing your heart for money, and it's like, well, what the F do you want from me, man? I'm a freaking poet, and I'm a singer, and I'm a rapper, and this is what I do, and I talk about my problems. Yeah, like, fair. I'm not judging. It's not judgment. I'm just like saying everything that's springing to mind. It's a business. You wanted to say something.
Well, yeah, no, there's lots of elements within here you could totally kind of try to like unpack out of this. We had some guests last night that we were talking to, and we were like talking about self-reflection a bit and looking back, you know, taking moments off to like kind of like whether it's like a meditation or something or prayer, whatever you're doing. And these are some of the things that you're kind of like faced with is like your past when you're looking back at all this stuff, and you have to go through it. That self-reflection, all the, you know, maybe a lot of the good things you did, but all the bad things you've had,
Shadow work.
and you have to face it. And it can be brutally tough, man. Really, really hard.
Oh, yeah.
And like, you know, I'm sure Eminem, you know, as a musical artist, being wealthy probably does have time to like, you can't escape it. That's why, like, even when you're rich, you know, you try to escape through drugs and stuff that he's talking about, and like going through all that. What a journey he must have had to go on to go through all this.
This is a spiritual channel, and there was I know this vague story of this guy that had some sort of an awakening, and he found that he was like, there's no way to talk about it. There's no way to talk about it, but I have to talk about it. So he started writing books, and when he died, before he died, he was like, burn everything I wrote. Okay, because it just will not capture what awakening is, spiritual enlightenment or whatever.
Yeah.
Or what I'm getting at. It won't do it. But nevertheless, he felt compelled. And a lot of these awakened people, you ask, well, in the absence of like some solid repeating ego, why is there this consistency? You always seem the same. You seem to say similar things over and over again. You're talking, you're doing business.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? And a lot of time they're like, behold, words just appear. So in the light of somebody that's an artist, like he'd been doing this way before, for a long time. I don't know how old Haley was if she was born already when he came out with his first stuff. I think maybe she was. But the point is, he's been doing this since he was a young man. This is what he does. Yeah. So I'm not judging the fact that it is that, but I'm saying, I don't imagine. Did he talk with his daughter before he made that? Like, listen,
that was what I was thinking. Yeah.
And I'm going to be unraveling some stuff. And you're right, in the meditative, shadow worky type area of stuff.
Yeah.
It is like this. It's like watching a video of it. Yeah. Just recently, I had to go through a memory that it was a sticky memory that was very vague. And so I dedicated some time to like almost auto-hypnotize myself and be like, what exactly happened there? Because I was very young and I went through it and it was a little less, upon like investigating it and bringing it to mind, it wasn't as traumatic as I originally thought it was. And I could even sort of forgive my younger self for being in that and all the parties involved with this particular memory. But so I'm sure with this, we're talking way too much. Yeah. But just to wrap it up, there's a catharsis. I doubt that he would put something like this out without it. Also, especially this far in his career, hopefully things are solid with his daughter, in the end here. And it's just interesting. Let's just watch this guy and, it probably speaks to a lot of people.
Elena, sorry that you had to hear me fall in the bathroom. Sorry that I missed you graduate. Nate, I should just congratulate you on being a dad too. Carter and Liam, look at you. Little bro, sorry I left you. Sorry that I'll never get to hold or hug my little nephews. Stevie, I'm sorry I missed you. Grow up and I didn't get to be the dad I wanted to be to you. Things I wanted to see you do. This is my song from me to you. Sorry I gave up, but I'm just so defeated. God, what the fuck you want me to do?
Somebody save me from myself. I spent so long living in hell. They say my lifestyle is bad for my health. It's the only thing that seems to help.
I've been staring at the video of Haley almost daily, of her playing the guitar in hopes maybe that'll give me the power to fight. But the addict in me's a coward. He told me that I can't do it. Had a second chance, blew it. It's like I'm stuck inside an alternate reality, but I know I'll turn it around and be able to walk her and Laney one day to the altar as proud as can be. Right now I'm just weak as I fall further down in this deep hole and farther in the ground that I sink. As they lower me in my coffin, I feel the tears all falling down on my cheek.
I'm a long call. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life is shattered, my hopes and my dreams. I'm a long call. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life is shattered, my hopes and my dreams.
And next to us?
Haley.
And how old are you?
12.
You've been playing guitar for how long?
About 3 months.
I coined a term years ago called basting the emotional turkey. And that's when you listen to sad music when you're feeling sad, to just let the sad juices, let's have some imagery of childhood imagery in there too. I'm not making fun.
Yeah.
Like I am, but don't take it the wrong way. It comes with a lesson. It's to say that, I looked at that and I was a little sad to see the end of it where he's like, I'm ready, lower man to the grave and I'm done,
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't have to tell that story. I would be thrilled. I understand it probably does a lot of good for, you know, a bunch of guys probably around Eminem's age, you know, dads now and of all ages, you know, struggling or whatever, or moms or whoever. But I'm thinking, like, I would be just as delighted to see Eminem's next thing be, like, happy. I wouldn't be like, you sell out. And there's no such thing as a sellout, for God's sake. It's not even such a thing. And so if he came back and he was hyper happy guy, and he just changed the story, you know, here's me with all those people I said I couldn't talk to anymore. I just fucking called them.
Yeah.
I went over there and I saw them. But telling the story over and over, a sad story, people get violent. They'll attack you if you're like, hey, you don't need to tell that sad story. That's my story. Yeah. This is my story. This is my story, man. Again, I'm not being cruel. I have a tendency to do this. Everybody has a tendency to do this. But I noticed something recently. I had been offended. Somebody had done something that kind of hurt me, and I was like thinking about how I was going to behave differently around them from now on. And then I forgot. The day went on and I forgot about even being stewing in that anger. And then I was like, oh yeah, that should happen. I should restart up the fires of getting upset about that. And I was like, or I could just forgive it and forget and be trusting, a trusting idiot that falls for it every time. You know, like Christ says, you know, like, it's starting to make sense to me why Christ was like, if they want your shit, give it to them. Let them be used. Be used. Lose all your shit. And if they kill you, then die. Because can you trust this world or no? And if the answer is fucking no, well then get me out of here. Yeah. You know, that's an intense message. People are like, that's more dangerous than being like, lower me into the grave. That's not more dangerous than that. Yeah. I'm saying, have the faith like a child. Forgive yourself, for God's sake. Start with numero uno. I don't care what the hell you did. Forgive yourself. And then pick up the pieces from there. And then go around. Try to make amends if it seems fitting. Try to forgive everybody else and move on with your life. But telling some depressing story over and over again, you don't have to necessarily do that. Maybe it's cathartic for a while, but you can have a happy story.
Well, I have one little quick thing here before we wrap up. I was feeling in that kind of the other side of the coin too, because I feel like Eminem almost had to go through all that for, you know, yeah, there was a lot of bad. It's easy to see all the bad things, but what would have happened to Eminem had he not been selfish and pursued his career and done all the, you know, grinded it out and tried to make it? Who would he been?
Oh, this good stuff never gets talked about.
Yeah, he might have been a shell of himself. Maybe he would have been an even worse drug addict.
Yeah,
even worse.
No means to get out of the drug addict.
Yeah, like who knows what would have happened to him? And like, look at all the stories of kids that, you know, had fathers that were absent and stuff like that, and then went on to become great things. And he even said in the music video, like, look at all the cool stuff you did. Look at all the, like, you know. So there's also another side to that whole story.
Don't forget that it can feel good, just like I coined that term, basting the emotional turkey. Yeah. It can feel good to be like, oh, let it rain down on me. I'm such a shit. I'm such a fucking shit. That can be its own sense of like ego building. You can stew in that, but you don't have to. You know what I mean? When that gets exhausting and you're like, I've like beaten the hell out of myself for a while, you can just like move on. And that's the thing that is very peculiar to me, is when people say, no, you can't. You can't just switch gears like that into happy. It's like, yes, you can. And they're like, well, that's called bipolar disorder. That's a disorder now if you change gears too quickly. It's fine. If you're changing gears to a happy emotion, you get a pass. If you and it's not drug-induced or some just destructive form.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about it, what we had to say here. Hopefully you liked our reaction. If you did, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone till next time, stay spiritual.